Okay, hey everyone, welcome back to another session of the Relaxing Fertility Yoga sponsored by the Fertility Partnership. My name is Julie, so welcome everyone. If this is your first time joining us, just a few things to know about these classes, and just of course as a reminder for everybody else. So these sessions are for absolutely everyone, whether you are a beginning yogi or yogini, or whether you are quite seasoned with yoga. And these sessions are for both men and women. And these sessions are particularly aimed at those undergoing IVF or in that process. So all of the poses that we do, all of the exercises that we do, they are safe if you are currently in that process. Things to be aware of if you are doing other types of exercise as well. When you are, as a woman anyway, when you are in that IVF process, things to avoid include things like deep twists, core work, so any kind of abdominal work when you're crunching or really holding a plank for a long time, and any type of inversion, so when you're doing headstands and that kind of thing, so we won't be doing any of those, obviously. You can see, if you are a regular, you can see that I am back home, which does mean that my dogs and cats are here, which means that they have the potential to interrupt the session. But as always, I just really want to invite you to practice accepting whatever is in the session. So if the dogs and the cats do make noise or appearances, see if you can just allow that to be part of this moment, to be part of life as it is right now. I just hit the wrong button. So I'm still getting to grips with these YouTube live sessions compared to Zoom. For those of you who are regulars in this class, please do feel free to feedback if you do prefer Zoom, or if you're happy with the YouTube live. Obviously, we went off of Zoom a few weeks ago because of the Zoom rating situation. For anyone that was there, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so we'll begin the session with a centering and breathing exercise, and then we will move into some warm-up movements. And then from there, we'll flow through a variety of postures. My plan tonight is to focus on the hips. So again, if you've been here before, you'll have heard me say this, which is that the hips are an incredibly important part of the body to look at in general, because we spend so much time sitting in a day, and really our modern lifestyles aren't the best for our hip joints. But on top of that, emotionally, the hips can be a bit like a junk drawer for the human body. So we can store a lot in the hips, in the same way that you might store a lot of stress in your neck or in your shoulders. The hips can also take on a lot of our emotional baggage. And of course, in certain traditions, this is also linked to fertility, particularly if you look at traditional Chinese medicine. So we're just going to give our hips lots and lots of love today. We are going to stretch them out. We're going to strengthen them a little bit. And my invitation to you remains the same, which is to practice with compassion for your body, to practice with a sense of loving kindness for your current experience. So there's no need to judge yourself. There's no need to judge what your body can do, what your body isn't happy to do. It's all okay. And yeah, just have fun. Okay. So to start, we'll start with a brief centering and breathing. So what I would like you to do is to just find either a comfortable seated position or come down onto your back, just whichever you prefer. Okay, so for those of you who have been sitting all day at a desk, the back is probably going to be a better option. And if you come down onto your back, you've always got a couple options there. So you can either bend your knees, taking your feet flat onto the earth. And that's better if you have lower back sensitivities, okay? Or you can take the legs and extend them all the way out, just letting them flop and splay. And if you prefer to sit, that's absolutely fine. Just sit up nice and tall in the way that feels good to you. Maybe use a prop. You're welcome to use any yoga props you might have, but also use props at home. You have couch cushions, pillows, blankets. Just make yourself comfortable. Okay. And then once you find the position that serves you, just take a few rolls of the shoulders. So you're going to inhale, roll the shoulders up, and exhale them down and back. And again. And one more. And just relax your shoulders down. Relax your hands, either facing up or down. Up for receiving energy or down for grounding energy. And then close your eyes if they're not yet closed. And take a few deep inhales through the nose, with exhales sighing or blowing the air out of the mouth. And just do this as many times as you need. Inhaling calm, exhaling, sighing out, letting go of any stress or any tension. Once you've sighed out a few times, just come back to the natural rhythm of your breath. Notice your breath. Notice where it lands in your body. What can the breath tell you about this moment in your body? And take the awareness and bring it to your brow. And just start to soften the forehead. Relax down along the corners of the eyes and the corners of the mouth. Loosen the jaw. And take that same awareness and let it cascade down your body. See if you can just relax even your neck and your shoulders that little bit more. Relax your chest. Relax down into your ribs, into your hands, your arms, your fingers. Keep drawing that awareness down the legs, first over the hips, through your joints, and all the way down to your feet and your toes. And just let yourself intuitively become aware of any place that you might currently be storing tension. So sometimes it can surprise us. Maybe we suddenly feel part of the abdomen, or we notice that we're holding the hand very tightly, or that we're just really holding your legs tight. Again, just notice naturally what's there. Again, avoid judging anything that you find. And then start to deepen your breath. So you're going to inhale through the nose. Take the breath down into the belly so that the belly rises with the inhale. Exhale out the nose and feel the belly roll back towards your spine. So we inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. Just using the diaphragm. And of course, remember that when it comes to fertility, reducing stress, both mental and physical, is incredibly important. So just by the act of taking deep breaths, you're helping to physiologically calm your body down. So if you struggle to sit with yourself in quiet, just know that what you're doing is so beneficial for your body. And we're going to deepen the breath further. Inhale through the nose, fill up, belly, ribs, chest, expanding all the way up through the inhale. Exhale out the nose, chest, ribs, and belly contract. And just take a few deep breaths here, nice and slow. And then for the next few breaths, 3 to 5 breaths, I'd like you to visualize that each inhale is going to a part of your body that might be storing stress or tension. So if you're very tight in your shoulders or in your neck, I want you to visualize the inhale coming into that space, breaking up the tension, and the exhale releasing that tension. And just do this a few times. Maybe you stay with the same part of your body. Maybe you move to another part. And just know that whatever we visualize has an impact on the body. Studies in sports science show us this over and over again. Even people who visualize making goals or making baskets, if they're playing basketball, tend to actually do statistically better than people who don't visualize. So and likewise, we have the ability to actually slow down the breath when we start to, of course, visualize that sense of calm. This is what a lot of monks do. This is what meditation is for. So again, just take a few deep breaths and just visualize your body receiving all the goodness from those breaths. Then start to mentally ready yourself for movement. And just in your own time and in your own way, draw some movement back into your body. Just let yourself roll around, yawn, sigh. Just do whatever feels good to you. Okay. And then from here, start to make your way up to seated. And try to sit with your legs crossed if you can. And again, if you find that this is a bit of a struggle, so if you find that you're feeling really drawn back here, and obviously I'm exaggerating quite a bit, but for some people, the hip flexor is very, very tight. And to sit like this, the knees might go up as well. And this just might be not an option. Okay. In which case, sit up onto something, grab a couch cushion, grab a pillow, just something where you can elevate your sits bones, and it will just make it that much more comfortable for your hips and your spine. Okay. And then once you're there, take a big inhale, lift the arms. Oh, and exhale, release your arms down. And again, inhale, lift. And exhale down. And then inhale, lift all the way up. All right. And then exhale, take your right hand down to the ground, reach your left arm across. So you're just getting this beautiful lateral opener here through the side of your body. We're not twisting down, but we're just reaching across there. Then inhale, bring it all the way back up through center. Oh, and exhale over to the other side. And inhale, lift all the way up to center. Interlace your fingers, turn your palms up to the sky. Take a nice big stretch, opening your shoulders, opening your upper back. And then unwind and release your hands down to the earth. Roll the hands into the heart. Inhale, lift. And exhale, bow. Take a few more. And just imagine that as you're bowing down, not only are you starting to warm up your spine, but you are thanking the earth And you're drawing this beautiful earth energy into your heart. Take one more. All right. And start to roll it all the way back up and relax your shoulders. Now, from here, this is where we're going to really start to say hello to our hips this evening. So take your hands behind you and just unwind your legs. Now, if you were sitting up onto something, you'll probably need to remove that from under your sits bones right now because it could cause a balance issue here. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the feet in a pinwheel position. And it doesn't really matter which foot is out front to start, okay? So you can, rather than have the foot right against the thigh, you can actually have a little bit of space. Again, just find what's comfortable, okay? And then we're going to lean back into our hands, okay? And then from here, I want you to roll up over the edges of the feet and then take the legs to the other side. So we take it back and forth, side to side, okay? So what we're not doing is picking up the feet and slapping them around, okay? It's like windscreen wipers on a car. So we're just going to keep this going, starting to say hey to the hips. And then we're going to add on. So when next you come to one side, and you might need to adjust the hands for this just so that you can feel comfortable as you press down. Once you come to one side, you're going to take the back hand. You're going to lift the hips up, lift the bottom up from the floor, reach that back hand up. So you're opening the chest, you're opening the front of the tummy and the hip flexor. And then you're going to take it back down, windscreen wiper over to the other side. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, take it back down. And just do a few of these side to side. And again, remember that what you visualize matters. So visualize that each time you're inhaling and lifting up, you're blossoming up, you're opening up. What are you opening up to receive here? A few more. Let's do one more. Okay. And then when next you take it down, I want you to play with one more thing here. Okay. So I want you to play with trying to do this without your hands, not the blossoming part, but just the opening part with the windscreen wipers. So see if you can take your palms. I know it's a little tricky. We're going to take the palms together and we're going to inhale, open wide here, a bit of a Rose and Titanic moment. Okay. And then we're going to take it back through center and inhale over to the other side. Take just a couple more to each side like that. Just starting to get, again, a bit of strength and flexibility, both rolling through the hips here. Okay. And then take it back through center. And you might have traveled around your space a little bit there like I did, which is cool. The body moves. It takes us places. All right. So what I would like you to do now is bring yourself so that your left leg is forward and your right leg is zigzagging towards the back. So that right heel is near the buttock. You don't need to wrench it there, but just that's what's there. Okay. And then from here, we're going to take the left hand, rest it on the left knee. Take your right hand, bring it to your hip crease there. we're just going to inhale, send the hip forward, and exhale it back. And we do this a few times. So if you guys have been doing these sessions with me before, some of these moves will be familiar. Okay. One more. All right. And then when next you take it down, hold it there. Now, take your right hand over to your left knee, square forward, roll your shoulders back, open up through your chest. So you're sitting up nice and tall here. And then exhale, start to walk your hands out in front of you over that knee. Okay, and then maybe this is enough. If you want to take this further, you can slide down onto your forearms. You might be able to stack your fists and take your forehead onto stacked fists, or stack your palms, forehead onto stacked palms, or you might find you can take the arms all the way out and take the forehead down. But sometimes the chin and the knee, that kind of fight for space there. So if that's happening, just find the position that feels better to you, okay? One more thing here. Try to avoid falling to the side like a doggy in the sunlight. I mean, obviously I'm super exaggerating here, but we want to be over that leg so that we can feel the stretch. And then lift the head, lift the heart. Start to walk yourself back, square forward. So you're facing now over that shin. Walk yourself forward again. Mind your knees. So guys, anytime you are opening up the hips, if the knees start to hurt, it means that you are taking it a bit too far. The knees will overcompensate for the hips, which we don't want, because these are lovely joints and they help us and they take us all over the place. So we want to love them back. Okay. So we can come down onto the forearms. And again, it's really easy to fall into that left side there. Do the best that you can. You might find that you can stack your fists, forward onto stacked fists, or stack the palms, forward onto stacked palms. Or again, you can take the arms out, but again, it's really easy to kind of have that pup in the sun. I mean, I don't know. I hope for your sake that you also love dogs. I mean, unless you've been traumatized by them, which then I understand. But you know, how a dog or a cat just flops out in the sun, which we just want to avoid when we're doing these yoga poses. Okay, slowly start to roll yourself all the way back up. Now, we're going to get a little crazy. Okay, I remember a really fantastic Zoom session of this probably about 5 or 6 months ago. And one of it was in this class, but when it was back on Zoom, and someone said they had to avoid kicking things in their house. So just throwing that out there. You want to make sure you have a decent amount of space around you. Okay, we don't want to kick anything. We don't want to hurt our toes or anything else. Okay, so what we're going to do is place both hands onto that left knee. We're going to pick that right leg up behind us. Yeah, I mean it. We're going to take an inhale here. And then exhale, kick that leg out, and we exhale, ha. Okay, so coming from the diaphragm. So we're going to inhale, roll it back, exhale, ha. And this is really going to work that hip flexor. Ha. 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 A few more. Ha. 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 Whoo, one more. Okay, take it out front. Oh. And then you're going to let that leg come down. And we're going to extend that right leg out in front of us. Left heel is coming into the inner thigh there, okay? Then we're going to flex that right foot. Take the fingertips either side of the right knee. Roll your shoulders back. Take a nice big inhale. Lift up through the heart here. And then exhale. Start to bow forward. And if you have a sensitive lower back, or not even just lower back, but spine or back, anytime that you are in this slightly flat back position or slightly arched position, it's safer than if you are rounding down. Now, if you are, so here comes the fur baby, one of the fur babies to say hi. But if you feel okay with it, you can inhale and extend, and then exhale, round down towards that fur baby, actually towards your leg. Okay. We just come into Janushirshasana, into a head to knee pose. Anytime you're folding like this, this can be very good for uterine blood flow when we're folding forward. Again, when I say these things, know that this is always theoretically, just based on what we know about physiology. Okay. And then inhale, lift the head, lift the heart. The other dog is here to go crazy for you. Well, you can't really see her, but she's just been here and gone. She's on the sofa. You might be able to hear her. All right. So now once you come back up, I want you to, we're really, again, making this all about the hips today. I want you to take your left leg, bring it on top of your right, and you can either, two options, not on top of the knee, but just in front of the knee. We flex that foot so we make it nice and flat. Or if it's available to you, you're going to take that foot up towards the hip, but then this is less protective of the knee. Okay. So if one, this is not possible and you're really wrenching your body to do it, forget it. And two, if your knee is uncomfortable here, bring it down here. Now you might get a little deep tissue massage with your ankle bone, but remember that everything is how we frame it. So it is a deep tissue massage. Okay. So we're going to inhale, lift up tall, and then exhale, start to walk forward. Again, make that sole of the foot flat. We flex it. And you should feel that around that outer hip here. Whew. Okay. Inhale, lift the head, lift the heart. And then from here, I want you to take that. Oh, sorry, guys. I want you to take that. Luna, come here. Come here, Luna. I want you to take that right foot to the floor, and we are going to take an open twist, which is a safe way that you can twist the spine without compressing the things that we want to avoid compressing when we're looking at IVF or even first trimester pregnancy. Okay, well, any trimester pregnancy. So traditionally in a twist, you would turn and you would, in this position, you would end up going to the left. But what we're going to do is we're going to sit up nice and tall here, and we're just going to twist to the right. So we get that nice twist for the spine without any of the contraindications. So we take that right hand back, left fingers can just come towards that left foot or even to the leg. And we sit up tall and we open. We can look past that back shoulder. And just take a nice deep breath here. Okay. And then, hey, don't drink my tea. And then slowly Start to bring yourself back around towards center, and then extend that left leg out in front of you, and just go ahead and give your legs a little shake out. And shaking is really good in general, just for moving stagnant energy around. So we just shake out the legs, shake, 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 shake. All right. Starting to the other side. We're going to take the legs and we're going to pinwheel them the other way now. So we've got that right leg now out front, left leg around the back. Okay, and I'm going to shut the living room door so this pooch can't keep going back and forth here. Okay. Stay here. All right, guys. So, once during this class, I mean, they're old. He's 14 and she's maybe 12. We're not entirely sure, although she's supposedly between 12 and 14 now, but I still think she might be younger than that. But anyway, once during this session about, 6 months ago, the two of them started doing circles around me, which was incredibly cute and also incredibly distracting. Okay. So what I'd like you to do here is we've got that right hand onto the right knee, and we've got the left hand coming to the left hip crease. Now, if you're like me, you might find that one side is much more challenging than the other. And that's good to know and to be aware of, and even to let that filter through your day. So if you tend to really most of us do, we have habits where we lean more into one foot when we're standing. See if you can just start to switch it so that you're leaning into the other foot more often. And that can start to sort out some of those imbalances and just make it a little easier on the body. So what we're going to do, hand to the hip crease, we're going to take it forward and then lean it back. Same as before. Forward and back. 1 and 2. Just a few more. Starting to wake up this hip. Last one. Okay. Then we take it down and back, and we take both hands over that right knee, and we're going to sit up tall, open the chest, move myself slightly here. Okay. And then once we're there, we start to lean over that leg. So just like before, we're going to stack the fists, place the forehead on stacked fists. If you can do more than that, stack the palms. Or if your chin and your knee don't fight too much for space, you can extend the arms out, forehead down. But again, avoid that pup roll to the side. And just breathe here. Start to lift the head, lift the heart. And you're going to bring yourself back up. Stay there. I'm just moving just for the view and the angle with the dog. So now we're going to go over the front of this shin rather than over the knee. So again, mind your knees. You go to the point that it feels okay to you. Okay, so I've got a super sensitive knee on this side, so I'm not going to go as far this time as I did last time. But again, remember that you can And I'm just going to adjust my knee so I can show you this. You can come either down onto your onto your stacked fists, your palms, or you can extend all the way out. But again, listen to your body and what serves your body. And sometimes it's really hard to listen to our bodies when we're injured, or even as we're getting older, if you are. Also, I mean, I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm 37. I turned 37 in August, and I find I go to bed a little earlier, and I find things creak a little more than they used to. That's okay. That's the nature of being alive. So really just, again, listen to your body and honor it like it's a really good friend. And start to walk yourself all the way back up. And then we're going to go crazy again here with those kicks. So you're going to make sure that there's nothing in your space, like a little dog. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the hands over that right knee, and we're going to lean in, pick the back leg up, and then we're going to exhale, ha, and kick that leg forward. And we're going to do this about 10 times. Halfway there. Last one. Okay, take it all the way out front. And then from here, we're going to extend that left leg out in front, and right heel is coming against that inner left thigh. We take the fingertips either side of the shin. We roll the shoulders back. We open up through the chest. And then we start to walk forward. Now, again, listen to your spine. So if your back or your spine kind of go, if you start to round down, don't round. We're just going to keep the heart lifted. Now, if it feels okay to you, you can take the head down towards the knee or the chin down towards the shin. And again, poses like this where we are folding forward on the floor, theoretically good for uterine blood flow. And in general, yoga poses where we're also working with the legs like this, where we're stretching. I'll show you another one in a few minutes. In theory, these are also good for circulation. So anytime we're looking at fertility, the idea of increasing the circulation to the reproductive organs is always a good idea. Okay. And start to lift the head, lift the heart. Oh, and then we're going to bring the right foot up onto in front of the knee, not on the knee. Or you can take it the hip crease, but again, this is less supportive, less protective of the knee. So if that doesn't feel okay to you, or if it's just not accessible, just leave it here. Okay, it's a tough one. We're going to, again, inhale, extend, and then exhale, start to walk forward. And again, you can bow down here. Whew. And just to say, I know I throw a lot of information out there in these sessions. The nice thing is when they're on YouTube, if you ever want to go back to pieces of information, you can. If you don't geek out on this kind of stuff, just ignore it. But if you do, great. So, what you eat affects your flexibility. I find that when I'm eating more alkaline, when I'm eating more vegetables, especially, and fresh fruits and vegetables, and less, obviously less sugar, less grains. I don't eat meat or dairy anyway, but those would be included on the more acidifying foods. If you're eating fried foods, things like this, those are all acidic. And in fact, that really affects flexibility. So I can tell you that I definitely have eaten too much of like junk. We had an Indian takeaway last night, and today my flexibility is not there. And I did have way too much sugar recently when I came back from the retreat where we don't eat enough. Just got back and ate for about 5 days, and now I have to stop. So but just, be aware that our bodies are always responding to what we're doing. Okay. And slowly start to lift back up. And then again, we're going to take that safe open twist here. So we're going to place the right foot onto the floor. That knee is going to come up. We're going to sit up tall. Then we're going to turn to the left. You can place that right hand onto the right foot. Take your left fingertips back. Sit up tall, look past that left shoulder. Just breathe into that beautiful open twist. And gently start to bring yourself back towards center. And then this time to unwind, I want you to take that right leg, bring it just back out, and draw your left leg up to meet it. So you're going to draw the soles of the feet together and interlace your fingers over your toes. Okay. Adjust your sit bones however you need so that you can be comfortable there. And then you're going to roll your shoulders back, open up through the chest, sit up nice and tall. So we're tractioning up through the spine. And then if this feels like enough, stay here. If you want to take it further, just like before, we're going to start to fold, and we come down with a nice flat back. And then we keep rounding down if it feels okay to the spine, taking the head down towards the toes. And again, Badakanasana or bound angle pose is a pose that is good for circulation, particularly in the legs. So just take some nice deep breaths here. And then inhale and lift all the way back up. So you're rolling yourself all the way back up to seated. Now we're going to take this into our supine bound angle, which again is another pose that is quite good when we're looking at fertility. So the supine bound angle, I'm going to maybe do it with my dog there. Yeah, nope. Yes. Okay. So we're just going to roll it down. Okay. So that we come down onto the back. Now, if you struggle here, so if you struggle when you come down, if your hips kind of creak and go, nope, this is not okay, You have many options. One option is that you can put your feet on a wall, and so you're more elevated here, okay? And that's a nice way of being able to control. And it's not just a wall, you could use a sofa or anything else, but that's a nice way of being able to control how open the hips go. You can also pop something. If you have yoga props, you can pop blocks up under the knees, okay? You can also, if you've got a bolster, my hope is that you know how to use the bolster, and you can also do that there, popping the bolster under the legs. And once you come down here, just close your eyes and sigh out a few times. Let's take about 3 more breaths here. And then from here, I'd like you just to extend your legs straight out, assuming there's no dog resting his chin on one of your shins. I've done this to myself. And then take a moment just to stretch. Let yourself roll around, yawn, sigh. And in fact, I'd like you to take 1 minute here, not to worry about what I'm doing, or if you're doing this at home with a partner, not worry about what your partner's doing, but just take a minute to move in any way that would feel good to your body right now. Okay. So just whatever would feel good to you. That might be standing. We didn't do any standing poses today. That might be just flopping out on your back right now. It might be jumping. It's just whatever feels good to you. And at some point, when you're ready, I just want you to start to make your way down onto your back again. And when you come down onto your back, you can either just flop out with your legs extended and splayed, or you can come down with your knees bent. So we talked about this a little at the beginning. If you come down with your feet on the floor and the knees bent, it's always safer for your lower back. Okay, so if you've got lower back sensitivities, that is a really that's a really good way of supporting your back when you're lying down. Okay. And then once you've come down onto your back, and I'm just going to stay seated here, being the dog's pillow, but don't worry about what I'm doing. So once you've come down, just close your eyes. And take a few deep inhales through the nose, with exhales sighing or blowing the air out of the mouth. And just do that a few times. And then when you're ready, just let your natural breath take over. And feel your eyelids become heavy over your eyes. Feel your body melting down, connecting to the ground, to this earth. And as you relax here in this moment, remind yourself that you are an energy. You are not a number. You are not your age. You're not your weight. You're not any other number that you might associate in some way with yourself. You're not your awards. You are simply an energy. Just take a moment to remind yourself that you have this beautiful, unique energy that you can share with the world. That the people who love you don't love you because of those numbers, but because of that energy. And as you remind yourself of this, if it resonates for you, set the intention to just consciously cultivate your energy a bit more this week. What would you like to give the world? What would you like to give yourself? Maybe you need to retreat a little bit and you need to give yourself love, kindness, space. Maybe you need the opposite. Maybe you need to go out in the world and give that love and kindness. But just intuitively check in with what you might energetically need or like. And then set the intention to practice with that over the next week. Being with your energy, observing it, never judging, witnessing and cultivating. And then start to deepen your breath into your lungs again. Draw some movement back into your fingers and into your toes. And then gently roll to one side. And bring yourself all the way back up through seated. And once you've come to seated, just take your hands into prayer in front of your heart. Gently bow, honoring your body, your life, your practice, and this earth, all of its creatures. Okay. And thank you all so much for coming this evening, or if you're catching this on a replay, I hope you've enjoyed it and found it helpful. We will be back here next week at the same time. Again, guys, please feel free to feedback how you feel about the YouTube live versus the Zoom, because we can always try to play with that a little bit. And I did have a request on Instagram from one of you, which is about making a class around, I think it was the freezing. I'll double check, and also about the 2-week wait. So I will definitely do that in the next couple sessions. So also, if you guys ever have requests about what you are going through in your journey right now, and maybe it can be anything. It doesn't have to be technical. It may be the way that you're feeling in this moment. And we can always look at that. I'm really happy to accommodate. So feel free to message me either via my website or on social media. I'm not always the best at receiving messages on social media, so the website's probably the best way, but I will do my best. Yeah, so thank you all so much. Have a beautiful rest of your week and your weekend ahead. And just sending you lots and lots of love. And that's it for now. Thank you.